was lit, a beacon bright, that flame is burning still. Connolly was there, Connolly was there. Brave, bold, undaunted, Connolly was there. James Connolly was there. James Connolly was there.
Okay, we're here with Dr. John Callow at the launch of your book, The Re-Conquest of Ireland by James Connolly. John, we interviewed you some time ago last summer actually, in Belfast, when you were giving a lecture on the material you'd found. Since then, you've made a beautiful looking book.
Oh, thank you.
Well illustrated and lovely book. As produced. So tell us a bit about it. Tell us first of all why you chose to go for an illustrated book rather than a normal book, and your experience of actually getting the book out there.
Well, the book itself is illustrated. We used great young artists to do the historical scenes for it, and we also concentrated a bit on the design as well, because what we've got is a book that showcases Connolly's last major manuscripts, a lot of the family papers, but of course some of that, if you just reprint it straight, can be a little dry, a little off-putting to people on their first encounter with Connolly. So we wanted to make it new, we wanted to make it modern, we wanted it contemporary, and we wanted it to reach out to a whole new generation. So that's why we pitched it, and that's why we designed it in the way that we did.
And I have to say, one of the most appealing things about the book is that it's, like I say, it's beautifully presented, very well printed, beautiful full colour photographs. It's only 22 euros to buy, which is available in Connolly books here.
That's right.
But obviously you have some support from someone on this.
Yeah, we had terrific support. The RMT Union, the GMB Union in Britain, SIP2 have helped out, particularly with the launch here today and given us their support, and then the Jim Connell Society over in Meath, they've been grand as well. So it's been a remarkably harmonious, a remarkably productive collaboration between all those parties, both in Britain and Ireland, that have enabled us to produce this thing to such a high standard.
On launch here in Dublin, this is his first launch here in Dublin. You're moving on to launch it in other places?
Yep. This is, if you like, the big Labour movement launch. So we've got Liberty Hall, which is entirely appropriate, it being the historic home of Irish trade unionism and the Irish left, of course, where Connolly worked and achieved some of his greatest triumphs. We're going to do other launches. Basically, anyone within reason who wants us to pitch up and do an event, we're quite happy to do that. We're going to do the next one at Derry at Sandino's, and there are other things in the pipeline. The RNT gave us a great send-off last Monday, and we had some of the Connolly family at that. So it's a rolling process. Yeah, we've got a lot of events going, and of course there's also, it's not just the commemoration of the end of the Dublin lockout, but we've got, in a sense, 3 years of commemorations right up to the centenary of the Easter Week Rising, 1916, 2016. So it should be a busy time.
I presume this was launched plenty of time for the 1916 anniversary. There was also recently Mac Callahan, American singer-songwriter, relaunched these Songs of Freedom, which was only done just recently, actually here in Liberty Hall. So obviously it's starting to heat up. The centenary is starting to heat up, and we welcome your book.
Thank you.
It's a brilliant addition to it. It will be very appealing to a younger generation, I think, because of the layout. Was that your intention, was to bring this work?
Yeah, totally. I mean, when you're looking at Connolly, you've got Donald Nevin's collections of his writings. So anybody coming to Connolly, there's really no excuse now for not knowing what he was about. His material's far more available than it ever has been. You've got Desi Greaves's masterful biography that's never really been surpassed. So while this isn't going to tread on any of those kinds of toes, it does hopefully, I think, showcase some material of James's that hasn't been seen before, and gives it a different kind of twist, and brings out particular themes from his career in terms of his relationship to the suffragette movement, in terms of his work with the trade unions that maybe haven't come to the fore with other things.
Very interesting photographs I've never seen before. There's one in particular of a bust in New York.
That's right.
A was totally unaware of that.
Yeah.
Who was it organised that?
Well, that was John Flanders and the Connolly Forum over in New York, who again have been incredibly helpful with all of this. And the American left, particularly in New York, have done a lot of things, a lot of commemorations, a lot of events to go with Connolly, and that's part of their industrial heritage they're very proud of. I mean, only the other month, the Library of Congress came across some remarkable photos of Connolly speaking at Union Square in New York. Now, as far as I know, they're the only images of Connolly actually in full fly, actually sort of talking to a crowd. One of those images is in the book, and you can see there James giving a talk on May Day, surrounded not only by labour symbols, but also banners in Yiddish for the Jewish workers who were part of the backbone of the labour movement in New York 100 or so years ago.
It's very, very interesting, and there's loads of actual extra bits of information that only come to light in the last couple of years. So, John, listen, I look forward to actually
That's a
reading
pleasure.
it full,
Yeah.
and it's a great addition to the
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's
John.
grand. It's grand to be here for you. Cheers. Thank you.
And shout from shore to shore for a working man's republic and freedom evermore. Connolly will be there. Connolly will be there.